than 35 years. He's practicing organic beekeeping. He's deeply involved in apitherapy, an integrative method of healing. He lived and worked in the USA in one clinic and has sufficient experience with wound healing using the classic approach during the time. He is utilizing bee products for wound healing, and his special method of propolis tincture, an ointment application for slow healing wounds. In this way, he has achieved a very good results for variety of wounds, diabetic foot and ulcers. Having his own organic bee product at hand every day in his practice, he is continuing to discover in its new properties. He does have positive experience using honey, propolis, royal jelly, bee pollen, and bee bread for many diseases. He has practiced in apitherapy, congress, and courses in Toronto and other parts of the world in Apimondia, Sofia, Copenhagen. He is very proud to be one of the 15 delegates after the Fourth German Apitherapy Congress officially on the 30th of March to become the International Apitherapy Day at his birthplace. I would like to welcome Dr. Plamen this evening to talk to us about the propolis and its power.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the invitation, Paros. Thank you very much for the local beekeeping organization for inviting me to have a talk about the propolis. How many people are online right now?
We have 34 at the moment, and there'll be
Very
more
nice.
joining.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice. Thank you for the presentation, Paras, but I would like to say also a couple words about me. I'm a physician practicing in Bulgaria in a really small city named Hisaria. It's about 7,000 people, and it's a international spa resort with many mineral springs. I work here probably more than 30 years, and part of the time I spent in the United States, but it was a long time ago, almost 20 years ago. Uh, what else? I'm an organic beekeeper, taking care of approximately 40 beehives, and I'm producing, making a small amount of apitherapy products like tincture, different kind of honey, propolis ointment, just for my patient and for personal use. There will be two presentations today. The first one will be about the origin, types, characteristic, composition, preparation, and application of the propolis. And the second one will be about how we could utilize propolis for healing wounds. I would like to know, do you understand me well when I'm talking? Everything is clear? Okay.
Sounds perfect. Thank you.
Yes, it is good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll start very shortly with the apitherapy definition. What is apitherapy? We could say this is alternative integrative method that uses all bee products to prevent, heal, or recover from many diseases. Let me see. First, I have to go on a slideshow. How do I?
So it's a slideshow on just
There is
slightly on the
something
top.
that doesn't want to let me go to this. Oh, pardon.
Yeah, there you go. Just slide just slightly up. above.
Yes, but there is something which doesn't let me go to this thing.
Can you go to the bottom of your screen?
Yes, I cannot go.
Can you go all the way down to the bottom? Can you see where there's on the bottom right where there's that slider? It says 78 next to it. Bottom right hand side, all the way to the bottom.
What is this? No, 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 no. Let me. How?
Yeah, sorry. If you go down, go all the way down to the bar.
But the bar is at the top, not.
Now, if you go to the bottom one, you have the orange bar along the bottom where it says notes, comments, and it has a number on the bottom right. It says 78.
Oh.
If you can see that. Try my
This doesn't work. I don't know why.
If not, then it's fine. We can see the presentation anyway.
No, 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 no. We'll do it. I don't know. I think will be much better, but I don't have access to this. Why? Oh. No.
Try clicking the F5 key on your keyboard.
F?
5. F5. See if that does it.
Yeah, perfect.
There we go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, this is the first epitherapy definition, and there is another way epitherapy definition: the art of applying all the products for prophylaxis and treatment. And you see here, I'm also trying to apply kind of art beekeeping. My wife is a kind of, she's like a hobby painter, and she painted some of the beehives in this way. This is autumn. The beginning of contemporary apitherapy is strongly connected with the life and the work of Dr. Philip Turch. Let me tell a couple sentences, a little bit about his life. He's born in former Austro-Hungarian emperor. And after that, he moved to Maribor, Slovenia. He worked in the most difficult time of the medicine. Most of the time, he worked with bee venom therapy, and he has treated many patients with bee venom with a very good, with a successful result. I think he treated couple hundred of patients and succeed more than 85% of positive result with osteoarthritis and rheumatism. But we'll have the chance to talk about this in other time because it's really interesting. Okay, next. After the fourth German Epitherapy Congress in Passau, 2006, I had the privilege to be part of the 15 delegates. We visited the birthplace of Dr. Turch. It's located in Czech Republic right now, and we officially proclaimed his birthday, 30th of March, to be International Epitherapy Day. And this is the pictures exactly from 20 years ago. We're 15 people, delegates, and around are the mayor of the city and some, I think, the secretary of the mayor, something. Okay, next. Very shortly about all bee products: honey, bee pollen, bee bread, royal jelly, propolis, bee venom, bee wax, apple nil, beehive air. Probably all of you are familiar with this bee probably apical nil will be something, but we'll talk about this later. Apitherapy is a holistic approach of the treatment. It's always practicing apitherapy. We're trying to touch holistically the disease. Apitherapy point to the root of the disease. With the apitherapy, we're providing harmony in the treatment between the human being and the nature. And local bee products are the best one. Sometimes we're trying to find the most expensive honey from the other part of the world, but it's good to know that with the local beekeepers probably will be best solution with the price and with the final result. How I can remove now that there is at the top something which is this is the top bar. It's this is giving me a hard time. This is the I cannot see the whole screen. I'll try to work this way. It's a very important when we're trying to give some bee products, slowly increase the dose, and every day we give more and more until we reach therapeutic dose, and after that we could get slowly to the maintenance dose. In this way, we could continue as much as is needed. You see a different bee products here. What's important about the propolis? All of you know that the bees gather propolis from the resinous exudates originated mainly from buds, from leaves, from branches, from bark. The bees are covering, polishing inside of the hive with a very thin layer of propolis. And the main role is to maintain an antiseptic environment in the beehive and to enable the bee colony health. It promotes the social immunity of bees and helps them to fight infection. One bee forager gathers into the hive about 10 milligrams of propolis, approximately 10 milligrams per flight. It is assumed that an average bee colony gathers about 100 grams, I think more than this, and about 10,000 foraging flights are needed for this purpose. Some of the most common sources of propolis in Bulgaria is poplar. I don't know what is the situation in your area, but also ash tree, willow tree, birch, chestnut also is in Bulgaria. We have pine, rosemary, redwood, elm, oak, alder. Depends of the area where the beehives are situated. I think this is from Baccharis propolis in Brazil. And could be a very different color, could be green, could be brown, depends of the source. Something very interesting which was mentioned by Carla Spivak, I think Marla Spivak from United States, he's a scientist. She proved that the inner surface of the hive is very important. When the inner surface of the beehive is rough, the bees could collect and could store more propolis. And my advice is for some of you who are able to make their hives or to talk with your carpenter, not to make the inner surface of the hive smooth. When it's rough, the bees will put more propolis, and this is very good for the family. How we could collect the propolis? Many beekeepers in Bulgaria are collecting the propolis just by scraping it with inner cover, with box edges from frame rest, frame edges. And after that, it's the best is to store it in a Ziploc, leave it in a cool, dark place, best in refrigerator. If you're using the special propolis traps, you can put them in a freezer, then twist it, and the propolis will get out. And this is some of there could be so many different types of propolis traps. The good thing with the propolis traps is that the bees do not mix propolis with too much wax, and it's really clear product. Very shortly about the all of you could find information about this, but mostly between 40 and 70% balsams in the propolis, mostly phenols, flavonols, essential oils, approximately 1 to 2 to 3%, and the wax is between 20 and 35%. The bees are mixing propolis with the wax, and in this way they are able to polish it. Otherwise, will be probably very difficult for the bees. And approximately 5% pollen and some polysaccharides and very little amount of protein, amino acids, and etc. And the vitamins. That this is. Excuse me. As I told you that propolis in its extract should be stored in airtight containers, away from excessive and direct heat. Over 12 months of proper storage, propolis will lose very little or none of its antibacterial activities. It is shown that propolis ethanol extract exhibited unchanged antimicrobial activities after many years of proper storage. Propolis is very sensible for photooxidation, and if there is a laboratory, in some laboratory they can measure alpha glucosidase, which is determining the freshness of the propolis. The stability of propolis is due to the phenolic substances inside. We could name the propolis the intelligent antibiotics. It's very important to say that propolis do not cause dysbacteriosis, working only on pathogenic microorganisms, and works synergetically with antibiotics and antivirals. This is very important to know. It is proved probably more than 50 years in Ukraine, in the capital Kiev, but the physicians in Bulgaria and around the world are not using this possibility. I mean, if there is a lower dose of antibiotics, you could combine with propolis and will achieve a very good results. Propolis is a sort of flavonoids, as we talk about. Potent antioxidant can help to prevent cell damage caused by free radicals. It's a very, very powerful antioxidant. Propolis stimulates cell membrane strength. It's a very good immunomodulator. The bees are able constantly changing the composition of propolis depending of their needs. They have this sensitivity exactly to go to this plant, which will give the proper flavons for the the situation of the beehives. It's more effective against gram.
Start tomorrow, will you? Because I'm going to the office.
Moi, j'ai pas de voiture de la journée, je sais pas. J'ai pas forcément besoin, mais
Somebody's talking. I cannot say it's to me, or you're talking between you. Everything's okay? Everything's okay?
Yeah, it is fine now. Thank you.
Okay. More effective against gram-positive microorganism. Double lipid membrane in gram-negative is a more serious barrier. It's increasing the interferon production. Very remarkable is the fact that propolis from many sites of the world with different content is having approximately the same properties. Propolis could restore insulin sensitivity up to some level. Propolis component inhibit breast cancer tumor growth. Propolis prevent liver damage. It's very important to know this. All people who are having any kind of liver damage, drinking a lot of alcohol or had in the past hepatitis, they have to take propolis for a long-term basis. Propolis and honey are more effective compared to acyclovir for treating herpes simplex virus. It is proved. There is a research about this. Everyone could make your propolis tincture, and if herpes on the lips appear, you put a little bit of the propolis, and after that propolis ointment, and for couple of days, if the tincture is prepared, okay, if it's a good quality, will work very well. Very interesting research during the COVID time. It's done in Brazil, in a hospital in Brazil. There is a control group put in a supportive standard treatment, 12 days recovery, acute kidney injury rate 23%. For a group of patients taking 400 milligrams of propolis, the recovery time 7 days, only 12% with kidney injury. For the group taking 800 milligrams of propolis, 6 days and 4.8 acute kidney injury rate, which you see the difference. But the propolis wasn't utilized that time, just in Brazil. I'm following probably more than 10 patients, I think between age of 70 and 80 with osteoarthritis, and trying to give them a propolis for some of them more than 10 years. And recently I found that the propolis is increasing the production of collagen 2. In this way, we could influence osteoarthritis. But the patient needs to take propolis for a really long time. This could not be done for one course of 20 days or 1 month, or something like this. Positive effect on high cholesterol and non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. All patients with diabetes could take for a long time propolis tincture or propolis in a tablet at any time. The patient with benign prostate hypertrophy will benefit from propolis also. Another possibility is for people with hyperuricemia or podagra or gout disease are influenced very well of taking propolis. But it's very important to do a sensitivity test. Even here in Bulgaria, I'm trying to teach beekeepers and patients always to use a small amount of propolis. And one way to do a sensitivity is test it and to put couple drops of propolis on the forearm and wait 24 hours. If no redness appear, the patient could start with a small amount of drops dissolved with the lukewarm water, slowly increasing the numbers of drops. It is possible to have propolis allergy. The could appear like rashes, itching on the skin, burning in the mouth. The beekeepers could have contact dermatitis, and sometimes it's good to have protective gloves. I don't use protective gloves for probably more than 30 years and didn't have this problem. In some patients could have a general discomfort. I've seen kind of strange, peculiar reaction. For example, the patient is taking propolis and at the back side is receiving little bit rash, you know. We have to be also very cautious when we're giving advice to somebody to start taking propolis. 30 years ago wasn't like this. Probably 30 years ago we didn't use so widely propolis, but maybe the people are different. My personal experience, propolis support immune system. Always when your friends or patient is having viral infection and the patient know that he's not allergic, the patient could start immediately 4, even 5 times propolis, 20, 30, or even more drops. It is proven that the flavonoids from the propolis could stay in a blood flow approximately 4 to 5 hours. That means we could give this even more than 4 times if we're sure that the propolis, the patient don't have any allergic reaction. Acute and chronic bronchitis, chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, all rhinitis, sinusitis, very effective for external otitis, but here we have to have oil propolis extract, fat propolis extract. Small doses, up to 10 drops for elderly people, are improving their general well-being. And something which I proved from the last 10 years. At the beginning, with the patient with eczema, I was trying to give them propolis ointment, but the result was temporary. After I put them on a internally taking propolis for at least a couple months, the eczema was reacting very well and very effective about the wounds. We'll talk about later. Urinary tract infection like pyelonephritis, cystitis. It's a very good result, extremely. If someone is having a problem with the kidneys, give them propolis tincture with a lot of water. Why with a lot of water? Because the kidneys are very deep situated organ in the body, and we need to take propolis with a lot of water. In this way, the propolis can go to these organs. And specific colitis like Crohn's disease could be also there is a good result. something very important. Propolis in bee pollen might reduce some side effects of chemotherapy and radiation therapy for cancer. It's mandatory for this patient who are on chemotherapy or radiation therapy to take propolis tincture. I was trying to talk with a specialist here, but not a very good result of working together. Propolis boost oral hygiene. Before going to bed, 2-3 drops of on the tongue and mix with saliva will be very good results. Diabetic foot and propolis, very good result. Propolis application. Ethanol extracted propolis must be dissolved in 50 to 100 milliliters of water and taken by mouth before meals. 30 minutes, 1 hour, but it's very important before meal, and even the best time is in the morning. There is people who are following this it's get out of my mind. Intermittent fasting. For those of you who are on intermittent fasting, I mean, if you're having dinner, for example, 6 o'clock previous evening, and the first meal will be 16 to 18 hours after that. And in the morning, if you take 20 or 30 drops of propolis, you go to this intermittent fasting. It's really easy to go to this. Another way in Bulgaria is proven that 12% of honey water, it's a very good for chronic gastritis. And I always advising my patients to take propolis with approximately 10 to 12% of honey water. In this way, the propolis could go to any part of the body. Another way of taking propolis, for those of you who don't want to take the alcohol, is to take a piece of bread, put it in a toaster, take it out, and when it's hot, drop as many drops as you want, and let the alcohol to evaporate. Just for a minute, the alcohol will evaporate, and the temperature is not too high. The propolis is resistant to this temperature, and after that you can put a piece of, if you'd like, butter, honey, and you can take this. Even for a child, the propolis could be given this way. Another way is to mix it with honey. We could apply propolis on the skin, but for a short time. Another disease is very suitable for propolis treatment is the chronic gastritis, gastroduodenitis, gastroesophageal reflux disease, hiatus hernia, stomach and duodenal ulcer. We should have attention. A lot of water sometimes the patient could have some pain. Irritable bowel syndrome, it's very suitable. Constipation, chronic hepatitis, and fatty liver, steatosis, also diseases. And with the next presentation, you'll see about the propolis, how could influence peripheral arterial disease. In dentistry, oral hygiene, treatment of periodontal disease, caries, anesthetic, temporary coverage after cracked tooth, even with the small piece of raw propolis between the finger, make it a little bit soft, and after that you could fill this gap and you can replace it, and in this way we could survive until we find a dentist. And propolis is minimizing the X-ray, adverse X-ray effect, and I'm advising everyone not before dental X-ray, 2-3 days before any type of kind of X-ray to take a propolis, and after that, even computer tomography, Burnick-Mal syndrome, dentine hypersensitivity, bad breath, aphthous ulcer, traumatic ulcer, ulcer related to chemotherapy and radiotherapy. These are all different ethanol extracted propolis, water propolis extract, oil-based propolis extract, propolis ointment, suppositories, emulsion, propolis capsules, tablets, and gums. All these forms of propolis. How to prepare propolis tincture? The best solvent is pure grain alcohol, 70 to 95%. There is another way with propylene glycol, but I'm not using this way. What we have to do? We have to clean the propolis, put it in the freezer, cut it in a small pieces, or grind it. If you have the professional grinder, the coffee grinder will not work. Will destroy it. To make 25% 1 to 4 alcohol extract, you will need 250 grams of propolis plus 4 times that the weight of the alcohol, approximately 1 liter. You have to use a suitable dark glass bottle. Keep it in a dark and warm place for at least 7 to 12 days. It is proven that you could keep it no more than 2-3 weeks. After that, as long you keep it, there is no more extraction appear. Shake it 2-3 times a day. For some professional people, shaking devices best. If you would like to make a 30% extraction, the ratio of alcohol and propolis should be 3 to 7. 3 parts of propolis by weight to 7 parts alcohol by weight. In this way, you could exactly calculate how much you can take from propolis and from alcohol. To get the proportionate amount of propolis, divide the gram weight of alcohol you're using by 7, and then multiply the result by 3 to find out the weight of propolis to use to get the ratio 3 to 7. It's not a big mistake if some of the beekeepers here are doing in another simple way. They simply take 1 liter of 70% of alcohol. The weight is approximately 800 grams, and mix it with 300 grams of propolis. The amount of propolis is little bit less, but this is easy. You don't need to calculate. For those of you who would like to make a business, if they are allowed, they can use this proper proportion. I think it's understandable. And there is another guide for this. 1 to 9 is 10% concentration. For example, in Russia, most of the beekeepers are using 10% of propolis. In Bulgaria, most of the beekeepers are doing between 25 and 30%. propolis tincture. This is it's showing how the propolis in a Ziploc is put in the freezer, and after that you can fracture in the small pieces, but the best will be to grind it. This is another way to grind it, but in this way, small pieces of the bag could get. I don't think they will be dissolved in the alcohol, but probably it's not the best advice. But it's done for many beekeepers in this way. And something if we do not remove the wax which is in the propolis before, we have to do it after we are ready with the solution. Once filtered, an additional step can be taken to refrigerate the propolis at 4 Celsius for a few days. In this way, you could filter it with the coffee filter, and the wax will remove the wax in this way. But it's very important to know that the coffee filter could be sprinkled with a little bit water and let it dry a little bit. In this way, it works. It's more effective filtering process. There is a sophisticated method just for information with supercritical fluid extraction with CO2 and pressure. There is ultrasound extraction and high pressure extraction, but this is for a very professional use. And in the end, I would like to talk a little bit about the apitherapy forms. There is a very soft apitherapy. This is bee products as nutrient, and soft apitherapy, propolis, and bee venom cream, and the hard apitherapy is bee sting therapy. More than 800 diseases could be treated with apitherapy. And I would like to finish with my art beekeeping. This is the 4th season. This is summer, spring, winter, and the autumn. I like it this the most. And this was for the first presentation. What will be better now to see the other presentation, or a little bit rest and some questions? Paris, what will be?
I've got a few questions here. I go through that while you can prepare. So I'll ask the question that have been asked, unless people want to unmute themselves and ask their questions. So Will has asked, can you elaborate on why local honey is the best kind of honey for medicinal purpose and what local means?
Local means in the area where you're living, because there is a less allergy to propolis, to the local propolis. I mean, if someone is allergic, if someone is having many additional allergy to other things, we could suggest that he could have allergy to propolis. And in this way, where we're using local bee products, we're having clearly harmony in the treatment. You know that for example, in Bulgaria, our grandparents didn't eat bananas and all this. Probably we don't need it. It's in my opinion, the local products and the local food is giving harmony in the human body. This is the point. It's a good healing could be result from local herbs, from local honey. from local propolis. But this doesn't mean if you have a cancer, the best propolis and with the anti-cancer effect is the Brazilian propolis from Baccharis dracuncufolia. Is it clear?
So, Will, is that okay?
Yeah, thank you ever so much. That's really useful. Thank you. Thanks for your presentation.
Sella's got this question. What evidence do you have regarding propolis reducing radiographic effects? Also, having used propolis, how do you apply it on a curious teeth as if it were hard to apply? I use it for predontal pockets and after extractions, as well as wound healing.
For oral, no, let me first answer for the first. There is a research paper about the propolis could limit the negative reaction to chemotherapy and radiotherapy. There is a research paper about this. If you type it, I think you could find. I don't have it right now. But for the oral hygiene and for periodontal disease, you could apply propolis in couple way. One way is to mix it with water and make a gargle. Another way is to make fat propolis extract with olive oil. And in this way, it's more suitable for this way. And you can do a massage inside of the gum from out, from up, and like this, like this, like this, or like this. But it's very important to have a proper diet, to stop smoking, and to have a good dentist who work with you.
Hi, Plamen. I'm Stella. I'm actually a dentist. So I do use propolis as a mouthwash and also in dry sockets as wound healing. But when you said about caries, I didn't know how you can apply that because it really can be quite sticky and quite hard to actually apply like that on a tooth.
I had this experience in the United States when I came in 1998. I had a caries at that time. I was not able to afford to go to dentist, and I took with me a piece of propolis. You can put it in between the finger and make it warm, make it plastic, and after that you just feel it like a filling. And
so do you use it neat? So you don't, it's not an extract. Do you actually use it as a neat product?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I didn't understand.
Okay. It can stay like this, and you can replace this every day. And when I went to the dentist, he was amazed how I could survive so long time without any kind of.
Well, I suppose it has antibacterial properties, so I suppose it helps from that point of view. Yeah. Thank you so much.
That's a good survival kit, propolis. Always too good to have it.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Sela, is that answered all your questions, or do you have more?
No, that's fine. I just was trying to work out because obviously I use tinctures and I've got mouthwashes, and therefore I use them as wound healing and periodontal disease pockets and so on. But I couldn't quite work out how to use that from a carious cavity point of view, really.
No, it's good to also to have water extracted propolis, but it's you could store it no more than 10 days it's not.
Yeah, I mean, I find I just get some of the sort of like, I suppose, the extract, and then I'll mix it in with some water, and then basically use a syringe if I'm using it in sort of deeper pockets or on the dry
Also,
sockets.
you could make an emulsion, mix it with, for example, ethanol extract, mix it with olive oil. At the beginning,
Okay.
situation 1 to 4, and after that you could increase the situation. Depends of the sensibility, how much you could tolerate. This
Okay,
is
great.
also
Thank you.
yes, this is another way. But
Thank
also
you.
taking propolis peros, it's very important.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
So I got a question from Ellie. Could you repeat the weight of the alcohol to propolis? Was it 800 grams alcohol to 300 grams propolis, or what was the exact weight?
Let me go back and this is the way could be professionally done. But in Bulgaria, most of the beekeepers are doing like this. I will say in the small, if you take 100 milliliters of alcohol, of 70% alcohol, it could be approximately 80 grams, 100 milliliters of alcohol, and 30 grams of raw propolis. This is the common use. Most people, most beekeepers are doing in the world, I think, in this proper way. This is not the 100% correct, but this is, which is see now, is the most corrected way of doing propolis extraction. But there is a beekeepers who are mixing at the beginning propolis with hot water, but not too much hot, and in this way they remove the wax. There is another way. You could crush it and put it in the water, and the wax will go up, and you can remove the wax. It's, you know, that 30% of the propolis is wax, and we couldn't be really correct with all these measurements. If you would like to know exactly how much propolis is dissolved, you have to take, for example, 100 milliliters of the ready solution and put it in the device and evaporate the alcohol and weight the residue, the what is could be 3-5 grams or real extracted maturated propolis inside. But this is just for professional, for a professionalist. I think you could find a good quality propolis in the special stores in England. Haven't visited England so far. I was in Ireland a couple of weeks ago, but didn't have a chance to go to a pharmacy to see what's going on there.